Sit down. Frank, you are looking... Isn't Frank looking good? How old are you now? You're late 40s, aren't you, Frank?
I am 47.
Doesn't Frank look incredible for late 40s? Yeah. Well, about 7 of them. I think you do. I think you look fabulous for, you know, for 47, seriously.
No, I believe you. I just don't want to interrupt.
OK. I met Frank many years... First time I met you was about, I think, about 11, 12 years ago, probably. First time I met Frank, you had a resolutely working-class diet. By which I mean, it was old-fashioned kind of food, which even I'd never encountered before. What was the sort of pie-based snack you used to make for yourself?
Well, this, I actually... You know when you get people write to you and say, have you got a recipe for our celebrity cookbook? Yeah. This is what I always send. And basically, you cook, in some form or other, a steak and kidney pie, and then you make a normal cheese sandwich with piccalilli, and you put the pie inside the cheese sandwich. And the heat of the steak and kidney pie melts the cheese. Yeah. And you may scoff, some of you. There are people salivating.
I actually saw you make one like this. You didn't use piccalilli. I think you used Branston pickle that time.
Well, you know, necessity is the mother of invention,
well, you
obviously.
improvise. You're like a kind of like a black country dealer.
Yeah, a little bit of this, a little bit of that. But it might sound gross. It's really, really nice. If there's anyone watching who would like to try it.
Now, what's happening with you in the ageing process, though? 47, I'm 43. OK? Are you getting aches and pains? Are you getting worried about your body? Are you concerned about that?
Do you think I look younger than you, then?
I think we look about the same age.
Right. So I look 4 years younger than I am.
And you could look 10 years older than you are,
yeah,
you
but
know.
Somebody says to me, you know, you only look about 40, and I think, well, if you look 40, you might as well look like a decaying, worm-ridden foot.
You see, you have a bleak worldview.
Well, that's possibly true.
The thing I think people associate with you most, they think about you, they think about Frank Skinner, they think about comedy, but they also think about football. You are now inextricably wed to the sport which I believe you love more than any other. Would I be right?
Yes.
What a nice feeling that must be.
Well, now that you've stolen David Baddiel away from me, because you're his best friend now.
I don't know, mate.
He just uses me for football, basically, yeah.
But you don't play football with him, do you?
No, I don't play football with him, no, that's true. Yeah, that'd be rubbish. What, 2 middle-aged men in a room playing football?
Doesn't he think he's quite good at football?
He told me, when I first met him, that he could have been a professional. And I mentioned this in front of some people who'd played with him, who really fell about laughing. But I think he went to a rugby school or something, and that's why he didn't become a professional footballer.
He's deluded, isn't he, on that front?
Maybe so.
And so this year, it's another one of these big European matches.
Yes, yes, John. Okay. It's an actual tournament, Jonathan.
OK.
It's called Euro 2004.
And I remember the last one I actually remember was Euro 96. I think the main reason I remember it is that you and David had the single act. You did the official Euro song, of course.
Yes.
3 lines. I mean, I don't know how it feels looking back, but that must have been probably one of the most incredible things in your life, wasn't it?
It was certainly our perfect summer. Although I did... I was at a theatre about... I suppose it was about 2 months ago. And it has never happened to me before, but my mobile phone went off in the theatre, which I hate that when it happens with someone else. And I thought, oh, God, and I'm doing all this. And the problem is, my mobile phone ringtone is 3 lions. So the levels of embarrassment and guilt was, A, well, it's definitely him, because no one else would have it. And also, how vain can you get? And also, his mobile's gone off in the theatre, so that was a terrible thing.
That's not a good combination.
But it was fabulous, yeah.
I remember seeing footage on TV. I went to one of the matches that year, actually.
Did you really?
Yeah, I went to England versus Spain, I think.
Oh, yes.
And it was at Wembley.
That was the psycho moment when Stuart Pearce scored a penalty and went up to the crowd and went, come on! Come on! Come on! And we were all putting our coats on saying, where are we going? Terrified.
But now, when you support someone like that, I know you're doing fantasy football. Presumably that's because of the Euro 2004.
Yeah.
Do you still, when you're doing fantasy football, is it harder for you to still appreciate football just as itself? Because presumably you're looking for gags, you're looking for material, I would have thought, the whole time?
Yeah, but it's never... When we started doing it, we were worried that, oh, God, if we're doing football for work, it's like people who work with their wives. Eventually, they come to loathe them. You know when you get the teachers who are married and you think, God, imagine that all day and all night with the same person. Anyway, so but it hasn't affected my love of football at all. No. And in fact, we're gonna perform 3 lines at the opening ceremony. And Dave's gonna hug me, and my penis is gonna accidentally drop out, sort of Janet Jackson style. And we're obviously getting a lot of publicity. And then Dave's is gonna fall out. It'll be sort of Old Testament, New Testament.
You know, Tonight, when I'm trying to get to sleep, I know exactly the image I'm going to be trying to get through my head. Let's talk about West Bromwich Albion. You're still a fan of West Bromwich Albion?
I'm looking forward to you talking about it.
No, because...
Well, I'll tell you how much of a fan. This is my season ticket.
No.
That is my season ticket to West Bromwich Albion.
So that gets you in?
When I go in, there's a little electric eye, and I do that, hold my watch against it, and the turnstile slowly. It's like Star Trek.
But do you need a season ticket to West Bromwich Albion? Because they're not one of the big teams, are they? Presumably it's not full most weeks, is it? I would have thought. Is it? No, it's not, is it?
You don't know anything about football, do you?
No, but I know.
No, it holds about 80,000.
And so how full is it most weeks?
Yeah, we're top of the Premiership after many years. We're in Euro 2004. We won it the last 5.
They're head of the league. What's going to happen with fantasy football then? Basically, is it the same as the last series? You're going to do sketches?
No, it's the same old shit.
No, it's not. Because you know what I miss on your talk shows? You don't do the sketches anymore.
No.
And why is that?
Well, because it takes me a day to film the sketches, and we record on a Sunday, so I would have to miss the football matches, the West Brom games. So I said that's the end of the sketches.
So it's a it really
that's
is.
That's completely true. When I just filmed this sitcom, they said to me, yeah, we've filmed it all, and we've got all the schedule, and the studio records are on Saturday evening. And I said, I'm sorry, but I'm not doing it on Saturday.
Because of the Bromwich Albion?
And they said, look, we've paid it, you know, to move it would cost thousands of pounds. And I said, look, my career is in decline, I admit that. And so now I want to take this opportunity to do that thing when I say, look, it's my show and I'm going to the matches, you'll have to move them. And so they moved them.
I like Frank Skinner a lot. He's also I think, one of the weirdest men I know. You've got such a... No, but that's probably quite a compliment. You have got such a strange worldview. Because you are a really dark character, aren't you? I mean, you keep saying these things...
Who is this, Ron Atkins?
No, but... but when you said there, you know, my career's on the decline, your career's not on the decline.
Well, it's not exactly on the decline, but I'm not flavour of the month anymore. You know, it's... I mean, you're the same, Ricky Gervais this, Ricky Gervais.
Let's talk about stand-up. You seem so in your element on stage. You know, you seem so relaxed up there. So you must miss doing that, don't you?
Yeah, I haven't made any deliberate decisions to quit stand-up. I just kind of... I realise I haven't done any for 7 years. But really, if you're celibate, it's not worth going on tour. Because on tour, I mean, I'm not proud of this, but on tour, it really... You do feel... If there's a night go by when you don't have sex with someone, you have failed very miserably. And I can't live like that anymore.
But Frank, why be celibate then? Why not dip your toe back in the water, so to speak?
I just couldn't ever find the right... I was looking at... There was a beauty contest done by Cambridge students, and I thought maybe this is the way forward. These are going to be intelligent. I wouldn't mind trying to find some sort of super intellectual person who I can learn from.
So we're talking here, though, about a relationship, not just about casual tour
Yeah,
sex.
I kind of want Professor Stephen Hawking with big tits. It's a lovely thing. That, shall I rub them in your face? Call me closer. Anyway, I think if I could find a man who was the shape of a woman, and I know such people exist, maybe I need someone who used to be a man.
Why do you think that is?
Because I kind of, you know, men have more in common with men than they do with women because they're not women, they're men.
Yeah, but that's part of the joy and the challenge.
See, it must be... I've always thought one of the big pluses for gay men, if you don't mind me saying, they are gay, aren't they?
In actual fact, they're just gay for pay. They've all got kids. They all come in station wagons.
Well, remember Duncan Norville?
Yeah.
Chase me.
Chase me.
Turns out he wasn't gay at all.
You see, he says
I
that.
know, I caught him. But with gay men, I believe I'm right. All the rigmarole of... You just walk up to someone in a club and say, let's do it. Am I right?
Yeah.
Well, he does.
He does. Whereas, you know, I can't do the chat-up line courtship thing and all that
But
very
would you don't want to be with the partner, you don't want to be with the woman?
Well, I've tried it, but it keeps going on. It's a cyclical. I go out with someone for about a year and then it goes horribly wrong and then they end up crying in the night. You know, and I hate leaving a crying woman when I've got to get to the match.
But you're not... have you ever thought about whether or not you might be gay?
Well, I like musicals. I saw Liza Minnelli twice at the Albert Hall, and wasn't she wonderful?
That's it. Signing off.
I am what... Yes. Some People can get a thrill knitting sweaters and sitting still. I thought they'd join in, they didn't.
No. No. You were a singer in a punk band for a while, weren't you? I love that, though.
Yeah.
What band were you in?
Well, we were in a few, but there was one that went on to be a kind of a cult. They were called the Prefects.
I remember the Prefects, yeah.
But I left them when they were shit.
But it must have been great just to have sung with a punk band for a while, wouldn't it?
Oh, yeah. It was great.
I'm jealous of that. Is that something you'd have liked to have done, the pop star thing, or just be in a band properly?
Well, I had a chance, really, as a punk singer, because, as you know, I really like to sing, but my voice is kind of mediocre.
Well, you've got a voice. You can carry a tune.
Oh, I can carry a tune.
Yeah, but it's not Beyonce.
No. But I like to do it. But as a punk, obviously, as long as you can go, I say, f***ing die, what I say, you're all right.
I got quite excited when you were doing that.
Sorry, what was that school teaching? It was one of the two, anyway.
Let's talk about the sitcom.
OK.
Frank has a sitcom started on ITV this week. It's called Shane, and we've been talking tonight, and some of the things you've said, you know, you're getting darker as you get older, I think. You do seem to be. You're like Darth Vader. You're being drawn to the dark side.
Do you think?
I think you are. But in the show, that's apparent as well, because he's quite the character you play, and you've written this yourself, of course. He's a fairly bitter guy. How would you describe him?
Well, he's been married 18 years, the character Shane, and he's basically just bored with his wife and his life in general, and feels that there must be something else out there, kind of thing. So he's quite horrible to his wife. I mean, it's not me, you know. No, well, I have 2 children in it, you know what I mean? Yeah. I have a 16-year-old daughter. Basically, it's you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's have a look. This is Frank Skinner in his new sitcom, Shane. Have a look at this.
It says here they're going to start putting health warnings on alcohol.
Saying what, exactly?
Well, I suppose it depends on the drink. I mean, on Malibu, you could have drinking this may cause badly dyed blonde hair, cellulite, and an irresistible urge to sing I Will Survive.
And on Special Brew, drinking this may cause you to carry 15 carrier bags, have a really red face, and be from Scotland.
Oh, wait. On Guinness, yeah. Drinking this makes your poo black.
Oh, for goodness sake.
That's just vulgar.
Yeah, but don't you think its strength is in its bluntness?
Now, it's a risky field to go into, the sitcom. I mean, it's a tough thing to crack. And it's kind of a challenge you needn't have set yourself, of course.
Well, no, I don't need the money. But because they get so universally torn to pieces by critics, I kind of wanted to have a go, really. So I decided to make an old-fashioned, very traditional studio audience type sitcom.
From the figures you got in the first show, it's a success already.
Yeah, it was very good ratings, yeah.
Frank, I'm really pleased you came on the show.
Well, I haven't decided yet.
Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Frank Skinner. Thank you.
Do I go now?
You're leaving now. Mr. Frank Skinner.